Can't believe it. Government want to move me. My son refugee in my own country. But a long time, believe you so. Can't go no way. 10 really take poor people to cool. 10 really take poor people to cool. Oh, in somebody land. Where you get the system you're from? Boy, it was a dumb poor people land. So no seminar vote again, no sir. Call it MP, don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Don't say me live on Scotland. Two, me don't rich like Mataland, no sir. Me a man Jamaican. Me have nowhere to go. Me born and me grow, you're something that you get on. Bigger head, let you apply now. You can't buy your house from a cherry garden. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. The tribulation in a the ghetto is a must. Never qualified in a housing just. Come and lose all of my money in a cash now, son. Me know say me a born Jamaican. Me dey a from slavery as an African. Somebody tell me where my land come from. We own so much land in our island. Tell me, it's a thing. Go back to Japan. All that you make, feed the Japan. From and fine, to the grill pine from St. Thomas to Westmoreland. Oh, Miss Babylon, where you get the system you're from? Put those are down for people that don't know something. Now put again, no sir. The MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Don't say me live on Scotland. Two me don't rich like Mataland, no sir. We are bad Jamaican. We are some people bad, so them don't know where you're at. Government care about them, then no. I know you don't care for the parents. Me beg you least get a piece of land, yeah. Not no problem with parents. Don't come give me your eviction notice. Poor people don't have no patience. Me know say me a born Jamaican. Me dey from slavery as an African. Somebody tell me where my land come from. We own so much land in our island. Tell me it's a chill. Go back to Japan, can't Jamaica, to the black man. From Moran Pine to the Grill Pine, from St. Thomas to Westmoreland. Oh, Miss Babylon, where you get the system you're from? Boy, you was a down for people land. John no seminar vote again, no sir. The MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Don't say me live on Scotland. Two, me don't rich like Mataland, no sir. You're back Jamaican. Can't believe it. Government want to move me, but I'm refugee in my own country. But a long time, baby, I'm so can't go no way. Them really take poor people to cool. Them really take poor people to cool. Oh, Miss Babylon, where you get the system you're from? But you was a young poor people and don't know seminar vote again, no sir. The MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Don't say me live on Scotland. Do me don't rich like Mataland, no sir. Be a bad Jamaican.
Right, I'm born Jamaican. You know, squatter. All right, welcome to our third episode, the conflict zone. You know, we're looking at conflicts and black businesses from after slavery. You know, the Jamaican story. But you find that Jamaican story really intertwined with the American stories. Today now we'll be looking at the black doll. The other time when I used to see one and two black doll being well, you know, honestly I don't think nobody will sell out here, you know. Or if the people who I might black doll is very, but black doll will sell out here for, you know, the tourism thing there. They call it again, craft. It was the black dolls in Jamaica is more of craft. You know, you don't really have a, as a matter of fact, Jamaica don't have a doll industry, really. The black dolls that you have in Jamaica here, that is for craft, is made by, you know, Jamaican women mainly. and it's sold to tourists. So it's not really the same thing. Like what we're talking about is, the black doll that you can give to your black child to play with. You used to have that made in America. But the story I think the story we'll be touching on, I think the first set of black dolls to come this side was actually made in Germany. But our people use these things as tools to uplift themselves. But this story is really just the same. Black business gets screwed. One of the reasons is the financial backing. One of the success to any good prosperous business is really a friendly banker. And banks not really that friendly to black-owned businesses. Whatever is their excuse for that. All right, now, because time really is of essence, I want to spend some time on the business plan, go into some how your family business plan. But we can do all of it in one class. Can't do it in two classes neither. But all right. We can use a model business, but not today. Maybe for next class. We use a model business. And say, all right, let's say we're going to do one good thing, something that is really Jamaican. We have coconut products. We have, we think of others. All right, black belt thing for today now. Black Dolls Black Pride. Now, this was something which was around from this site here is the New York in Historical Society. All right, what you might ask what this have to do with Jamaica, really? Yeah, because Marcus Garvey under the UNIA did purchase a black doll company from I think it was a black woman who started a black doll. Yeah, Marcus Garvey, UNIA did did purchase it. Black dolls in the 20th century. What are well, let's start where it starts. Until the early 1900s, most black dolls in the US were handmade. European companies manufactured the first white baby dolls in the mid-19th century and produced black baby dolls soon thereafter. So the first set of black dolls to come into America was really made in Europe, made by the white people. All right. Importation of these high-end bisque, example, BISQUE, were costly Right. So, I mean, in those days they were selling for something like which was something like 60 cents, less than $1, really. But what they're saying, it became expensive. Yeah, that's the price it was selling for, but it was expensive at that time because all things were just generally cheap. However, black reformers and parents came up with a solution. Commercially available black dolls that countered the effect of segregation and empowered black children by celebrating their features. That was the reason. Who they said it? Black reformers. And as we learned last night in the Black Watch, the black reformers, they were sellout. They were paid off by the oppressor. Paid some big money too. In the 1970s, people have created new meanings for black dogs. Lawyers bought research on racial doll preferences before the Supreme Court brought. All right, so that was what they were actually doing, was try to make a case for black dogs before the Supreme Court. Large-scale manufacturers created black dogs to encourage conversation around slavery as well as contemporary standards of beauty with children. Today, black dogs collectors continue to forge communities in person and online to celebrate their shared interests. Handmade or commercially produced, black dolls remain both a beloved source of play. That was what it was, what they said they were using it for, to teach children, black children, about race. All right. I'll jump down now to one where in 1954, NAACP, that is National Association for the Advancement of Colored People in America, 1954. Lawyer Thurgood Marshall argued against racially segregated schools before the Supreme Court. So this was when they were bringing out now, they used the black doll to argue against racially segregated schools. You see, this was the whole plan for integration. Integration was really planned by the oppressor, not by our black civil rights persons. They were bought out. He asked black sociologists Kenneth and Mamie Clark to submit testimony for Brown versus Board of Education. So you see what happened now. He went to black sociologists. So they're trying to do it from a social standpoint now. Beginning with Mamie Clark master's thesis, the Clarks had spent decades researching race consciousness in black children. Kenneth Clark spoke broadly about their work, including famous doll test. Right, the famous black doll test where they give the child, put two dolls before a child, the black doll and the white doll. Which one is the good doll? The black children, they always point to the white one. Which one is the bad one? The black one look like that. Which one is the bad one? They point on the black one. You know, that is really devastating to a child to think that because they are black, they are bad. Kenneth Clark spoke broadly about their work, including the famous doll test. The Clarks used dolls like these, identical except for skin color. They asked children to compare them, which is the doll that looks like you, which is the good doll. They found that black children preferred the white doll. Marshall argued that the Clark's research proved racial segregation harmed black children and produced feelings of inferiority. So they were saying, oh, it's because we are racially segregated. Why? Rather than say it's because we are oppressed, it's because we are racially segregated. Why? These children have this feeling of the Supreme Court cited the test as particularly influential in their decision. They ultimately ruled that schools integrate with all deliberate speed. So that was one of the base. That was the base. They used the black doll to get the court to prove to the court that race and segregation is causing black children to feel inferior. And the court says, all right, take down. They ultimately rule that schools integrate, right? Integrate with all deliberate speed. Get them to integrate fast. But that was by design to tear down the black. All right. This picture here now is the one. I don't know, maybe this was in the court. They put the two dolls in front of the child, the black child. In the early 20th century, many commercial black dolls in the 20th century. In the early 20th century, many commercially available black dolls reflected derogatory stereotypes. The National Negro Doll Company became the first American to retail black dolls with a positive image in 1908. Founder Richard Boyd first sold imported dolls like this German example, but by 1911, he began manufacturing them, promoted with the slogan Negro Doll for Negro Children. So they were making black dolls for the purpose, give the black children something to play with that looks like them. In 1918, Harlem businesswoman Evelyn Berry and Victoria Ross started a similar venture to manufacture black dolls. So the part we're looking at the business side of it, right, in this podcast. So, black dolls was really a thriving business at one point in time. Until integration, really. Until integration. The Universal Negro Improvement Association, founded by Marcus Garvey, bought the company. So Marcus Garvey buy out Evelyn Berry and Victoria Ross black doll businesses. in Harlem, New York. Right. Declaring that black children needed dolls that looked like them to play with and cuddle. They were among a number of retailers who marketed their products through eye-catching advertisement that aligned their product with black middle class uplift and social mobility. So 1918, this is way before integration. You see, the black businesses were striving. They could market to the black middle class. Now the black middle class is controlled by the oppressor. Is there really a black middle class? No. Well, there is a middle class with some people that look like black people but don't think like black people, for sure. So there was before integration good black businesses. So integration was actually the main war on our black business. It wasn't only on our social standing, but boy, damages our businesses because how much black doll company have now. But then I push on black doll pride again. All right. They were among a number of retailers who marketed their products through eye-catching advertisement online. All right. One of the best ways to teach Negro children to respect their own color would be to see to it that the children be given colored dolls to play with. This was stated by E.A. Johnson, The Colored American Magazine, 1904. There was a lot of black newspaper around then, black owned newspaper. So we were in doll making and many other things. All right. There's a story about one lady now who start making these dolls for the purpose of providing jobs. Right, this one. Shindana Toys, Baby Nancy doll, right. 1968 now, this lady now with black afro, dolly with afro here, Negro here, should be. They start making dolls and name the doll Baby Nancy. Following the deadly 1968 uprising in the Watts era of Los Angeles, local black residents came together to create Shindana Toys, a company designed to uplift the struggling neighborhood and create jobs. So, all these other nations that talk about, black people should lift themselves up by the bootstrap. And then they need a hammer to lick out them teeth. Trust me. They need a big lick in the mouth. Because we did. Just that we weren't running our business like war. All the other nation, was the Indian, was the white man buying black doll. They're not buying black doll. But we were buying white dolls. We wanted to integrate with them. Maybe they would love us if we were around them more. we were right around them during slavery, and them they didn't love us. They kill us all, guts. They were cruel. All right, so Shindana toys were created by some blacks who came together in Los Angeles. And do you see what they were doing? These were businesses made to uplift the struggling neighborhood, not the struggling people, the struggling neighborhood. So they were doing these business on a neighborhood thing there, in a communal way. They were thinking of the community. But this was 1968, not today. Shindana first doll, Baby Nancy, celebrated black hair and features and sported clothes designed and sewn by local black women. Baby Nancy quickly became the best-selling doll in Los Angeles and within months was in high demand nationwide. All right. Do I need to go in? I don't think I need any more from this. We're going into our Jamaican thing now. So this mentioned Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican. Marcus Garvey started many business. I can't say if he started it with a business plan. I don't know. These now, no, look at these dolls. These Jamaican souvenir dolls. These are not the kind of black dolls we really I mean, children play with dolly babies so that they can get to comb the ear, and wash them and things. The one that they sell in souvenir shops, one, they're kind of small, and two, like this one here, these are dolls used to represent the market woman. So they have market load on their head and all them things. No here to cook. But these are made locally. And guess who they sell to? Not black people anyway, the tourists. Being sold to tourists. So this is 1940 to 1950 Jamaica souvenir dolls. And this was in the 40s to 50s. And made by Jamaican woman circa 1940 to 1950s. Right, these give a description of the doll and so the clothes, what it made from. Other. Made by Jamaican women, these handmade cloth dolls were used to generate income from Jamaican tourists during the 1940s to 1950s. The well-endowed women represent Jamaican women who sold fruit and vegetable marketplace and in tourist area of Jamaica. So these dolls, not the same kind of doll we were talking about. Where say you give black children dolls to play. These were dolls. They made money from it, yes, but they sell them to tourists. So, business-wise, it was there. And that probably gone until, the craft industry in Jamaica just, I don't know. We had a organization named Things Jamaican. But they used to make a lot of Jamaican things there. And right in PJ times, they close out Things Jamaican and turn the place in a prison. I mean, what you telling the people? It would have been better if you close that place and leave the place like just out there like that. But you close the place and you turn the place into a prison. That's the thing I can't understand. There is so many bush in this place, so many other abandoned building and something. Every time the government wants both here and America, because obviously Jamaica follows what America does. They want to put something in place. They come and they look at you, where blacks are thriving. Say, okay, we got to kill this, and we need so and so right there. And you got so many empty lands in the place. Like even in Jamaica here, the government still own probably about 70 to 60 to 70% of the country as over lands not used. Railway Corporation, I think, is the single most company owned by government with the most land that is not being used. Yet still, they want to build a prison. What they did, close down things Jamaica. What's the name of the prison? Horizon. Don't call it the Horizon Remand. No, the Remand Center. The prison name Horizon. That's what they put there. I remember when they were building it. All right, so this is the Black Doll story. And this was a business which don't know what it, I mean, don't know what it strive now, what it's like now. And trust me, these doll now they have the nose and the lip. They got the black nose and the black lip. They make sure they zoom it close on the camera too. All right, so that was one business that black people was used to make some money from. There's no business they look at now. That there was a time when restaurant, restaurant was a common thing, especially in Jamaica here. And then the fast food thing come and take over. You go in a restaurant and you sit down. Sometimes you sit down a good while before your food actually ready. If you go at the right time, you can get the food actually ready. And then they come up with fast food. Fast food, I mean, you have to wait in the line anyway. But what we don't know is that these businesses extract money from the country, from the community. Take for instance the community we are in. What we are left with now is cook shop. You know, what we are left with really is the curses, man. Because trust me, this cook shop is just like what the scripture says: curse in the city, curse in the field. All right, we're going into the business plan. All right, the business plan. A business plan is a well thought out roadmap for your business's growth and development. It also helps you attract talent and investors. So you go, you want to go into a business. Take for instance the black doll business now. You want to go into a black doll business. You think of now, I don't have the money. I want people to invest, like how those women know who are people who register the company and they do it as a so provide job for this community, you know, neighborhood in problem, and they come up with the idea to make things and sell and to provide job for the community. Because in those days, black people money circulate in their community before it actually leave. Not so today. And, more and more I always hear, government and things, you want to get you the time and all that. But You get it at the time and you're leaving the people behind. That's what you're doing. What's the sense? If you are going to leave your people behind. That makes sense. When you leave them behind now, you say they are monsters. They are criminals. You know? You leave them behind. The business, you find creative ways to kill black business. And then you turn around and call people monsters. All right, so a business plan is a well thought out roadmap. So it's a plan. You sit down, you go through the steps, you think through the steps before you actually do anything. And the purpose for doing this, it's good to do that in that many times you want to go into some business and you would surprised to know that 60 to 70% of what you actually need to run a business is right there around it. Right there within your abode, in your house, you know, right within your reach to put towards the business. So you think it out as much as possible, as deep as you can go, and it depends on the kind of business you're going into. You know, the bigger thing you're trying to do is the more work you'll have to put in. And guess what? You know, this time is the right time for a podcast like this too. You know. This is the time where self-employed people actually, everybody is sleeping. You're up trying to think through, you know, what I did today, how can I make it better tomorrow, and so on. You go to sleep by midnight, and then again, you up again by 4 or 5 o'clock. Most people think that owning your own business means that you get time to party and to play. You get time to have less time than the man who is doing the 9 to 5. A person doing the 9 to 5, when they leave work, him leave work. You who run your own business, you never leave work. You leave your business place, but trust me, when you come home, there's some paperwork to do. Today's what, Tuesday? Well, you're not too close to pay it, but you know, you have to think about who came at work today, who wasn't at work today, you know, what's the importance of that? The importance of that is to have you know, you have to keep track of your workers, I call it now. You know, attendance, pay, leave, and so on, because there are laws in which you have to follow. The same laws that you follow when you're doing a 9 to 5, but when you have your own job, you look at those laws from a different angle, you know, looking at the laws from the employer's side. Take, for instance, in the scripture, we tell you about the same gleaning of the field. The person who is, they call them the gleaners. That's the ones who come in when the owner is reaping. You know, the owner would let, you know, the poor know that, you know, this field will be reaped, or they see it, and they come in, pick from the edges, you know, and do the picking up of the fruit and things that might fall to the ground. But you, the owner, now, you abide by that law, but from a different angle. You're not looking at it from the owner's side, you know. Boy, I can't afford to make all my fruit fall to the ground. because I need to sell some fruit to make lots of money to pay my workers, to pay my financiers, right, and to pay myself and my family. So it's the same law. You look at it from different angles. The same thing with your business plan. You, the business owner, you have to sit and think your thing through. The person who wants to invest in a business, what you show them is the plan that you will be making, that you would have made. They sit down, read it, have written business plan, and try to get person on board who they end up, if you're not careful, they end up stealing the plan. They will try outsmart you. Take a read. Oh, I want to invest in a business. You can give me a read of your business plan. Give me a read of a business plan. Let us see if I can invest in your business. You have to be careful because sometimes it's not, they don't want to, especially you as a black man, you're trying to know. You have to treat this just like fighting a war. You're fighting a war where you have secrets. Yeah, man. You have a good idea, business idea, somebody wants to steal it. Yeah, you have to guard it well. All right. So business plans are well thought out, so and so. What is a business plan? A business plan is a well thought out roadmap for your business growth and development, also help attract talents and investors. All right, we're going to some scripture before we go any further. Luke 14:25-30. And there went great multitude with him, and he turned and said unto them. Now in Luke, the book of Luke, in the scriptures, this was Christ speaking. Christ turned and said to these people, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sister, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And in this now, in 27, it says, whosoever doth bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. So Christ said, why? All right, why would Christ say this? Say, if you to be my disciple, you have to hate your father, your mother, your wife, your children, your brethren, that is your brother, your sister, and your own life. Why? All right. When Christ came, who was ruling over Jerusalem? It was the Romans. Now the Romans had actually turned the place into Edens. So even though the law was there and all that, they weren't really following the laws. But to follow Christ, you have to follow the laws. So it's a switch. You have to switch now from loving to party, loving to celebrate Christmas, because they were doing that. Easter and so on, all the pagan holidays. Divorcing your wife to go marry the next wife. Christ said, no, keep her. Divorce his wife or you can have another wife, but you keep your wife where you have, because you can have more than one. But the Romans had a rule to say one wife. There's one wife that they have now that was ruled from a long time. So Christ was actually bringing them back into the law, teaching them. To them, it was a new thing. And Christ said, behold, I do a new thing. It was new, but it new to them. So eating a mother and a father is not strife Christ is preaching. Christ is just teaching. How did you learn to eat pork and celebrate Christmas and your family? It's one that you grew up with. So now you want to come out of that and to follow Christ. You have to eat this old life that you're in. All right. And he said in 28, 14 and 28, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and the counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. So Christ used the analogy of planning before he actually work to explain what he was saying, right? Because what he was talking about now is coming, you counting the cost of following him. And the cost of following Christ is that you're going to be heated by your family. That's what he was getting at. Your entire family going to eat it. You're down to your picnic and thing and there. Well, luckily for many of us in the truth today, we have a woman in the truth, we have our children in the truth. Some of us kind of lucky to have, your brother in the truth and thing. I mean, the blood brother. Some of us not so lucky. But that's what Christ was getting at. So Christ used this analogy of making a plan to say, see, like how you would sit down and plan what you're going to do before you do it, when you're going to build a house or a tower or whatever. You got to do the same thing when you follow me. Because following me comes with a cost. Yes. For us in the truth, yeah, they come with some physical cost too. Because, we have to go camp, we have to do this, find money in the pocket to do this, to do that. But he was talking about the cost of your family, those who are around you, though you're close. You notice we name, not your friends, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children. Even your own life, but what life? The old life before you come into the truth. You have to hate that life. You don't hate that life, you're not going to want to come. You're going to be holding on to that life. Right? So, I mean, even though we're teaching, we're talking about business plan. For you to really have this successful business the right way, you better come in the truth. Yeah, because you in the world, yeah, you can follow this and thing, but you'll be so into the wind. Because that time is coming. And you're following that war in the Middle East. Yeah. That time is coming. So you need to be here in the truth for it to work the way it should. You notice when we talk about the black dollar, those people who started that business making the toy they started the toy business. Their goal in starting was to uplift their neighborhood. Yeah, you got to be selfless when you talk about business. I'm doing this business because I want to provide a service, a well-needed service. I'm not doing this so much because I want to make money. That is the way of the world to think now. But the earlier business people, they think of providing, they were more into the service. And they would have, and nobody look and say, well, they're not here today. That's why they fail. No, that's not why they fail. They fail because they oppressed the goddamn devil. And they went against black business and tear them down deliberately. Though many of those businesses would have made it to today. I'm going to franchise. I mean, remember, Wall Street that you have now started in Black Wall Street, right? So money was being made among the blacks by speculating on prices, just like they are doing in Wall Street now. And they saw this idea and whoo, tell lie on the people, kill off who they kill off, mash up the community, take the plan and Wall Street in New York. Yeah, war and black business is always. Luke 14:29. Least aptly after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Right. So, this is telling you, you have to plan. Plan out your thing before you start it. That's what Christ is saying. Christ not telling you plan before you make a business. Christ says, in the same way you plan before you make a business, plan or you want to join, or you better count the cost in coming on my side. Because that's the cost. Can go back to it. What him says the cost. Any man come to me and eat not his father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sister, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Yeah, because though, unless all of them want to come in the truth as well, I mean, your family, everybody in the truth now has families, family members who had celebrated Christmas just the other day, and they still Happy New Year in people. Yeah. So that's it. All right. So in the business plan now, the purpose. The purpose of having a business plan. Help you set goals and check on your progress as your business grows. So when you sit down and you make a plan, it becomes, when you start the business, it becomes a reference. So you set the goals and then bam, you start work. Now you go back and say, I'm going to never do again after we do this. What I say I was going to do. You go back and look at your plan. And you can always make updates on your plan as you go along. Helps you focus and prepare for challenges and opportunities. Yeah, your business plan does that. Focus, prepare for challenges and opportunities. So you can sit down and plan now and say, all right, I'm going in a black business, that black doll business. What are the challenges I'm going to face? One of the challenges I can tell you what they're going to face now. Children don't really play with Dolly Baby right now. They play with cell phone. What's the opportunity that you could have? You probably could find a way to make the doll some IT thing, you know. So if you can link some artificial intelligence or something to that doll, you might could you could have an opportunity there. Because children now is in, and children now think of sitting down and come on Dolly Baby. They sit down and then watch thing and then cell phone and sitting and then that's what they want to go outside and run up on them. So that is challenges. This is one of the challenges you're going to face. But opportunities, you want to go in that business, you must can find some opportunity that could become your selling points. It also helps you to visualize a business. Yeah. It helps you to the business plan actually help you to see what you want before you actually get it. Oh, I want XYZ business. All right, to my TikTok viewers, there's a brother who came out, what did name again? Vendetta. Vendetta, you're not online this week. Can come on, You can join him, man. Vendetta. I don't know how to find him. All right. And it also helps you to identify cash flow challenges. So in your planning process, again, say, oh, shit, this is going to cost X amount of money whenever I reach at this stage, but I don't have no money. How am I going to get this money here? So you can now see the challenge that you are going to have before you actually reach to that bridge. And you can also figure out how you can probably overcome these challenges just by thinking through your plan before you actually do it. A person with money and no plan still don't have a business. A person with a plan and no money don't have a business. They need it too. Other purposes now, it helps you to identify and acquire skilled candidates on board. So you get your skilled people. All right, I'm going to need, if I'm going to black that business, all right, I'm going to need somebody who can sew, because, they want belly clothes, and so on. Helps to identify and attract potential investors. Much people I know could want to invest in this kind of business. If you notice how most of the Edens are doing business these days, them register a public company and they see them sell shares. That's one way to certainly get some good money. Okay, I want to raise 300. Now what they're raising now is millions of dollars. I want to raise $100 million for this project. Sell some shares. It works. It keeps you focused over the long term, right? Because in the long term now, after you go 1 year in your business, you don't remember what you had said you were going to do in the startup. But you will have a written business plan that you could look at. And say, okay, this was what I was planning to do. All right, next reason why you need a plan. 3 main reasons why you need it. 2 main reasons. Venture capitalists and banking is, well, financing. One. Financing, even your finances too, because the plan is going to show you at certain stage that you are going to need money. So if you have your own money, then you know that if you're going to use your own money, then you know that all right, at this stage I need to come up with X amount of money. So you plan for it before you reach there. Venture capitalists, banking institutions, they won't invest without a solid business plan. So yeah, the venture capitalist now is the man who you have all the money that you need for the business. But he's going to ask you, he's going to own 51% of your business for a period of time. 2 years, 4 years, probably. And then it's supposed to turn it over to you. So it's an investment, what would we say, opportunity. It's a way to invest, venture capitalist. Another way is to go to the bank, get a loan. I don't know if that one is. The venture capitalist, he asks for 51% of the business because he wants the management share. If you want to steer the business in a way that is going to cause him to lose money, then he has the legal right to step in and stop that. But no one is going to invest without a solid business plan. They're going to ask you some questions, which if you haven't thought it through, they're not going to invest with you. All right, going to the plan. All right. For tonight, no, we're not going deep into the plan. We'll tell you why you need a plan and so on and so forth. We'll look at the steps of the plan. Starting next class, now we'll look at going into each step. Like we're going into the business summary, the market research. All right, the first step in the plan. It is number one, but it's really the last thing you do. We call it executive summary. It's at number one, but it's the last thing that is written in the business plan. And I'll tell you why. The executive summary summarizes the entire business. You cannot summarize the entire business until you have gone through it and plan out what you're going to do. Then you write your executive summary and put it at number one. All right, now they have the business summary or the business model. What kind of business are going into? You know, you talk about, you look at the kind of business they're going to. You look at what do I call it now? The business structure. The structure that you're going to take on to the business. All right. You know, you have in Jamaica here. All right, well, I think we can cover that in this class. Then you have the market research. Yeah, you have to research the market. You want to go into Black Doll. Who else is in Black Doll business? You want to go into coconut products. You want to go into car manufacturing. Who else is in car? As a matter of fact, as I talk about car manufacturing, you know, for years they were trying to make assemble cars in Jamaica. I don't know, but this is what I tell you now, how the business environment is. It's like a war. Because these men who have been trying to assemble car in Jamaica, they got so much fight. I don't think it makes sense now to assemble cars in Jamaica. Can't make sense now. Cost of electricity and so on. Which way maybe if they had an assembly plant in Jamaica, maybe the government probably would have think twice about selling JPS because they want to keep that business alive, maybe. But I think it was Mazda too. They were trying to set up an assembly plant in Jamaica. More than 20 years now, they were trying that. So you have to research a market. Is there a market for the business that you're trying to go into? You have to do your research. Market research is sometimes extensive, depending on the kind of business you're going into. You probably have to pay for the service of a marketing research business. In other words, employ somebody else to research the market, the proposed market for you. You're going, say you want to do something with tourism. You can't jump up and look and say, oh, 4 million tourists come to Jamaica each year, or 5 million tourists come to Jamaica each year. So I'm going into this business that I'm going to sell to tourists. Black dolls probably could sell to tourists, but guess what? After you do your market research, you're going to find that the 5 million tourists that they bring to Jamaica is locked away in all-inclusive hotels. They are locked away in all-inclusive hotels, so you do not have access to them. All right, you do not have access to them, so you can't really sell to them like that. So you probably now going to have to come up with another strategy as to how there's ways that you could get to them, get to tourists, There's a way that you could get to tourists. I mean, you can register with TPD, like those men who provide that, that kind of massage service there when the women them come out here from get on the bamboo raft. The kind of massage where my woman not going to get, my wife not going to get for no vacation. Rub down the woman them private parts some kind of way. But anyway, that's their business and anyways. You get the point. You have to get in the light, get into where the tourists would be. So you have to do a market research. Then you do a competitive analysis as to the competitions that you have. The competitions that you have. So you kind of intertwine with the market research, but here you're looking at the competitions that you have and what is going to give you the edge over your competition. You're going into some kind of food. What's your edge? Is it that you're giving more food? Is it that your food is going to taste better? So whatever you decide to give you the competitive edge, you have to also be able to maintain it. They have to do a product description, you physically describe the product or service that you are going to offer. The business is not the product, it could be a service that you're offering. All right. Damn. So that is expensive. How are you going to market your product? And then the financial plan or analysis, how we're going to finance the business, organization and management plan. What structure your organization going to? Is it just you one in it? Are you going to have a team of people working with it? Or are you going to manage those people? This is one area where Marcus Garvey had failed with many of his business. The organization structure and management. There seemed to be no checks and balance on the people who were there running the business. Funding. The financial plan kind of intertwined with the funding. But in a financial plan now, you're going to go through you do some paperwork. So net planning has to, if you're in a business where you have raw material on board, your raw material is money. How are you going to be able to sustain yourself but while sitting down on some money? Right? So that's how funding just deal directly in how you're going to fund the business. Then you do your conclusion. All right, the business summary. I'm on the business name. What name am I going to give a business? Think of a business name that is catchy. You want a catchy business name. And then business name which is something that you could, when you hear it, you want to grab it. Like the Captain Tazara, what's his name? I don't want the name again. You have the oils and body butter. You're not talking about giving some or something like that. So, I don't know if it's a name or one of the oils, but that is a catchy name. Right? Give him some or something like that. I remember there was a perfume. I'm going to tell you about this one. There's a perfume one time. It was one of those cheap perfumes still, But they named it, what they named the perfume again? I think they named it Pussy. And you know what they do? Out of all the groups that it is being sold with, it was this. They make it the sweetest perfume, and they put the price a little more than the others. And trust me, it sell more than the others. And they make it the name catchy, and it's sweeter than the others. And it's a name that actually make the men laugh. And of course, it was mostly men who would have buy that. It was me who did it. I'm just telling you of one business that somebody smartly came up with. Don't know who do it. All right, so the business name, well, that one was a product name, but you have to have a name, good name for your business. Then you have to think about the form or structure that the business is going to take, the ownership. Is it a sole proprietor? Are you going to go into as a sole proprietor? Meaning, when you are a sole proprietor, there is no difference between you and the business. The business automatically dies when you die. That's a rule of sole proprietorship. All right. Once the owner of the business dies, the government doesn't prolong anything but on taxes or anything. The business died at the moment the owner died. However, because there is no difference between you and the business, lawsuit does not stop at the business. You can be sued for your bed that you're sleeping on. That is sole proprietor. Then there is partnership, which is similar to the sole proprietor, except that is more than one of you share in the liability and the profit of the business. So you can have a partnership of 2. I think in Jamaica you can go up to 20, no more than 20, for a business partnership registration. And of course, you will go to the company's office, company's office. Well, it used to name Registrar of Company, but it's named the Company Office of Jamaica. And they are situated in New Kingston. You can Google them name. You can Google them, find the address. Register your business in the form that you would like to take it. You can also have a limited liability company. In other words, you register as a company, which limits your liability. Remember when I said the sole proprietor, you can sue for your bed that you have? Well, in a limited liability company now, the liability is limited to the company, meaning any monies that is owed by the company is only protected by the company's assets, not your personal assets. All right. So a limit, it can be a limited liability company, or it can be a public company, private company or a public company. If you want to earn money by selling shares, you have to be a public company. Meaning that your company's records are public. All right. So that is a business summary / model. That number one model you want your business to take. Also, under the business summary now, you have the business location. Where you want to locate this business. All right, I'm going into making black dolls. I'm going to sell to tourists. Where is the tourist? North Coast. And you are on the South Coast. Does it make sense to manufacture dolls on the South Coast and then transport it to the North Coast? Or would it make sense to just go and live in the North Coast? Right? Where you're going to locate the business. The intended product or service. So, well, we're talking about a business now. Well, yeah. What do you intend to sell, or what kind of service you want to provide? What kind of service, or what kind of service business you can start in Jamaica? I don't even know if you can start a cleaning service in Jamaica. All them market that kind of corner. Cleaning services. Manpower, corner cleaning service. Start with, I think, the hospitals, well, government buildings. I don't know if they were in the hospital. But they started with government businesses. So government used to employ cleaners and things, outsource them kind of work. However, there's that kind of business there, that cleaning service always start. It had some political clout. If you're going to do a business that you're going to provide some services to the government, you have to have somebody, no matter what they tell about, apply for business, tender for business and so. You have to have the clout. You have to have the political clout for that business. You can't get around that. That's just the reality. Just remember, like I said, you run a business like you're fighting a war. When you're fighting a war, intel, have to have intelligence. All right. And nobody think the most I don't have intelligence and Esau. He make him, take him out of the bottomless pit, put him where he is now. So Esau has nothing on the most side. All his actions and things is just open to the most side. Most side have intel on him. Just like how Esau have intel on us. Intended product, the business value proposition. Yeah, all right. Meaning, what's the value in the thing that you are, services that you are going to sell? A person who start in a bar, we can do a model for a bar. A person starting a bar is providing, what's the value in what he's providing? Right, you know have to go and you look and say what value is in a bar more than just alcohol. Why people drink alcohol? Pastime, they drink it for the sit down and want to drink pastime. Meeting with friends. Just need to hang out a little. So would your business be providing these value to these people, for people who searching for these things? Right, you have to think about that. The value proposition, mission statement. That is good to have one. Doing the mission statement. Why are you doing the business? Purpose. I remember the one we read about the black doll, where the ladies, the person who started that business, where they had stated, I don't know if I can find it back, where they had stated that they were doing it for, find it back. No, this is it. Come on. Right, 1968, uprising in the Watts era of Los Angeles. Local black residents came together to create Shindana Toys, a company designed to uplift the struggling neighborhood and create jobs. So they are on point with, come back here, tell you what they are on point with. They are on point with this. The mission statement, why you're doing the business, creating jobs for the community. And guess what? They succeeded. They did create jobs. And then the competition analysis. You analyze your competition. That is done under the business summary. The competition analysis. We go deep into. All right, I'm providing a bar service. How much bars are in the area that I am going to provide the service for? What is my competitive edge in this field? Understand? And then I'm going to business history. We're talking about your business history. It is not a new business you have. If you have an existing business which for a while, and you want to grow that business, you still would do a business plan. But you now would have to do now a business history where you talk about the history of your business because it's not a new business. So if it's a new business, then you wouldn't be doing a business, you wouldn't be doing any business history because obviously it's new. Right. All right, back to scriptures again now. Deuteronomy 28, 1 to 7. We will always be referring to scriptures for obvious reasons. And that obvious reason would be that there is we can't go into the business today. People that was all them black That was all the black businesses failed. Right? They failed because where am I? Those people, well, the truth wasn't out, but yeah, the fact that the truth wasn't out simply means that they did not, they weren't following nothing there. They weren't following the laws. You want to be successful as Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're running a business, you better follow the laws. I ain't gonna be in vain. You're going to feel just like the thousands of black businesses. Even though the person who is gonna pay for all those, but I mean, you don't invest money to take a gamble unless gambling is the business. You invest money to get returns. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will high above all nations of the earth. So if you want to go in business, why not be on high above everybody? Keep your laws. That's one thing you shouldn't be trading. What else does it say? Verse 2. Verse 2 says, and all, where am I? All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So you keep your law, this is what is going to happen to you. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. So if you are Black, Hispanics, and Native American, and you want to go, and you're going into business, you can't tell me that you're going to invest in some business and you don't want to be blessed. Well, most I already lay the foundation in telling you how to be blessed in what you do. You want to be blessed in the city, most businesses in commercial districts or what you call cities. Keep the laws to be blessed in the city. If the business you're going is in farming, then you'll be in the field. You want to be blessed in the field, keep the laws, and your business will be blessed in the field. So this was why Christ had to tell you that more difficult for he didn't say it's impossible, but he says it's easier for the camel go to the island needle than for the the rich enter heaven. Because of the mind of the rich. The rich don't consider the poor. Right, verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, which is your children. Now, if you start a business, I'm sure you want your business to be able to pass on to your children. Mm-hmm. But if your children are not blessed, you have this successful business, the children are not blessed. But I think that your business is going to bless them. Most I say if you the parent don't keep your the laws, then the fruit of your body won't be well, it says here, blessed shall be the fruit of the body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kind, and the flock of thy sheep. So in other words, all that you do is gonna be blessed. Next verse. Verse 5 says, blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Next verse says, blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. You come, I mean, in your movements, you'll be blessed. In other words, you keep these laws, blessings will be following you. The only people who keep on telling you not to follow, they don't need to follow laws. They say, one, it's the Eden, and two, it's your people who behave like heathens. Because when you keep the laws, you are on top. And they don't want to see you on top. You want to learn how to keep those laws? Come into the truth. Come and follow command in General YAHANNA. All right. So, we in Jamaica, we follow Captain Naita. Captain Naita follow command in General YAHANNA. That's how it works. That's how it has always worked. You follow the man in front of you. And nobody think there is nothing wrong with that. There's everything right with that. All the men in Jerusalem followed the man who was in front of them, Peter. And then there are some who, Peter not there. All right. There was Peter, there was Paul. Paul followed Peter. All the other men who said they were Gentiles or something followed Paul. So nobody think there is anything absurd about rank and order. And the problem might be just that you just hate your people. Verse 7 says, the Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, and they sit in the face. All right, now I put this in here because in business, you're going to have enemies. Right? You will have enemies, but the most I tell you that you keep those laws, those enemies going to stay away. Right? The enemies here was the enemies who came in on us in Jerusalem, in the land. But if they come and they overtake the land, you think your business is going to be saved? No, it's your business they're coming for. When they came and overthrow, you never see anybody that try overthrow some of them African places. It's the only one that we have precious metals or whatever, and they want the metal and use. But we were prospering. That's why they came, and they came for us because they can make money off of us. Take we carry Corona, so carry all over the world and things because they make money off us. So the most I protect we from enemies. All right, next. The next scripture again. Deuteronomy drop down to 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't need to cover all that. Well, basically, it's the same thing that we just read. The most I just telling you that if you don't keep the laws, then what is going to happen is that the opposite of the blessing. All right, so let me read this one. 15 now says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So you're gonna get curses if you don't follow him. Which is why many times when you running your business, you sprinkle all kind of thing, water and all kind of thing before your business. Because what? You realize that's something not right, but you feel say other people are trying to hurt you and things. Well, the enemies that we speak of today, not so much you want to come try put it in the word that you understand. Who be you? No. Right? One who try come kill you. They mean rob you physically and take all your things. Means the danger. But you know the most I tell you now that the curses from 15 to 68 in Deuteronomy 38 will follow you if you don't keep his commandments. All right? You can read another one. Yeah, I'll read 16. 16 said that you're going to be cursed shall thou be in the city and in the field. All right, and if you pass that. So if you're cursed in a city, your business can't strive. You better learn that. You better know that. Right? So this was why we lose most of our black communities. Christianity was a, you know what's the interesting thing? All these black communities that we had, guess what? They were Christian communities. So why did we lose them? Because we were not keeping the laws. So that's sure that you have to keep the laws. All them communities that we lose, they were Christian communities. And Christianity not protect you nothing. We need to keep those laws so that we are not cursing the city or cursing the field. All right, so I'm going to drop it there for this week. Next week, we'll pick up again. Look on some more conflicts and touch some more on the business plan. So we'll show you the plan, we'll show you the business plan, we'll show you the conflict, we'll show you the things that knock down most of our black business. All right, next week now we want to touch on the banking institution, what we can tell you about the banking institution. The banking institution was one which raged one of the biggest warfare on black men. Yeah. And we saw it here in Jamaica too. You remember FinSAC? Goodness gracious. And most of the black men get FinSAC to back foot. But anyway, that's for next week. So, you know, until then, we say shalom.